All right, hi guys. So I wanted to go ahead and create this quick little video to go over what to expect for your tests, and also to use some of the examples that you used on the FRQ and AP Classroom. I hope you're all doing well, and I really do appreciate all your hard efforts. As you know, your test is May 18th. It will be at 4 p.m. and you will have 2 FRQs. You may use any mobile device for this exam. However, if you are planning on using your cell phone should only be used for taking the picture of your actual written work and submitting it. In other words, if you plan on typing your answer, then you should definitely try to use a computer, like a laptop, or something that's going to make it more comfortable. With that being said, you have 3 ways in which you can do this. You can write out your answer in pen, take a picture of it, and submit that. Or you can type your answer directly on the College Board website, or you can actually use a Word document, type your answer there, and then copy and paste that onto your College Board. If you are going to use Word, they do suggest that you have Word open on the side of the College Board website. So basically you want to have the 2 screens side by side. You must pick one way. In other words, you can't change your mind in the middle of the test or do one for one question, one for the other. You have to pick one and stick with it. So I really suggest you think about it and whatever you feel more comfortable with, and stick with that. In terms of the tests, you want to make sure that you're communicating with your family how important it is that you have basically some, quiet space, a workspace where you're going to be taking this test. I know sometimes it's hard when you have especially siblings, especially the little ones, but you definitely want to make sure that you have some quiet time that day. The other thing that's really important is the Wi-Fi signal. So please tell your family members not to stream movies or stream video games. You don't want to do anything that's going to weaken your Wi-Fi signal, basically. And again, we're talking about an hour test. Even though the test starts at 4 p.m., you should be able to log in already 30 minutes before. That's what we were told. And so you want to make sure you do that. From what I know, they're supposed to either email you a test, kind of like a ticket, or they might actually have the ticket right on your College Board account. We're not sure yet, but you want to make sure that you log into your College Board account and you want to update your contact information. Make sure you're using the right email, that you get all of your correspondence in, and you want to add in a phone number there. So you need to make sure you're doing that already, just to make sure they have the right contact information for that. Okay, so, let me move this. Where can I move me? Over here. Okay, so I want to go ahead and talk about the 2 FRQs real quick. So you're going to have 2 of them. You will only have 1 question at a time, okay? And you will have a timer on the screen. Question 1 is called Design and Investigation, and I'm going to be talking about that in the next little video. And question 2 will be to analyze an environmental problem and propose a solution, okay? And so they're not valued the same. Question 1, okay, is 60% of the grade, while question 2 is only 40% of your grade. Question 1, you will have 30 minutes on the timer, but please be aware that really it's 25 minutes, okay, of those 30 to answer the question, and then the last 5 minutes are really to upload. When you only have 5 minutes left, the timer will turn red. At that time, you should really stop what you're doing, or at least wrap up the last sentence, and submit what you have. Chances are, these questions are going to be long. You might run out of time. That's okay. You're going to submit what you have, okay? Makeups for the test. I know there's going to be a makeup day, but they will not be given to anybody who just basically ran out of time, Okay, you have to justify to them, oh, I had, major technical difficulties, and they have to check and all that. So you want to make sure that your first shot is your best shot. Okay, so you want to make sure that those last 5 minutes, don't count on them. Those are your 5 minutes to upload the information. So at that time, you're going to either copy and paste, right? Or I really don't recommend typing it twice. You're either going to type in directly into the College Board account, or if you type it on a Word document, then you're going to copy and paste that. Okay. Or if you're taking a picture, and then submitting that, you can do that as well. But that is the last 5 minutes. As soon as the timer is up, okay, question 2 will appear. So it doesn't matter, if you're wondering, well, I submitted my answer to question 1 and I haven't received confirmation. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. The computer is able to continue uploading that answer while still giving you question 2. Okay, so as soon as you see question 2, the timer is ticking. You want to make sure you get started on it. Now, question 2 is 40% of the grade. And so you're only going to have 20 minutes, 15 minutes to answer the question, and then, of course, the 5 minutes to upload or submit. Okay, and again, you want to keep track of that timer. Okay, so I don't know if you want to have your own timer, but they say that the timer should be clearly visible. All right, so tips for answering the FRQ. Couple things here. Don't forget, do not rewrite or restate the question. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of space. They have given you the question, so there's no need to put that in your answer. Go straight to the point. However, you need to make sure, of course, that you answer in complete sentences. As soon as you read, kind of like you browse through the questions, you're going to pick up the topic or the overall theme of the question. Is it really focusing on soil? Is it focusing on biodiversity? It's important to kind of identify that, so that way you can start recalling all of that important information, all of those relevant vocabulary words. Okay. Like I said, answering complete sentences, but straight to the point. Don't forget, identify or state type of questions are usually one sentence, so don't waste your time writing so much for those. But the explain, the describe questions, those require multiple sentences, where you don't just make a statement, you have to back it up with evidence. You have to explain how, you have to explain why. It usually requires steps. First this happens, then that, a cause and effect, right? Always use examples when possible. Don't just identify the example, explain it, apply it to the relevant question. Label answers as you go. I'm pretty sure this is still going to be relevant because it looks like they're going to follow the same format as they would any other AP test. So you're going to have your A, B, C. You want to make sure that when you go through it, go ahead and answer the easy ones first, okay? Because you want to make sure, guarantee that those will be graded, okay? Don't get stuck. Remember, you only have 25 minutes for this question, and the other one is only 15 minutes. So always answer the easy parts first. However, I will tell you, like, let's say you're typing your answer and you're skipping B. Go ahead and write B and skip it, but don't forget you have to go back and answer B. I noticed that sometimes when we were doing these in class, some of you would forget to do that. So you want to make sure you've answered all the letters. And sometimes, a letter can look like another letter. So if you want to go ahead and write the A, B, C and then put in your answers, you just want to make sure that you've completed all of it. And like I said, do the easy ones first. All right. The other thing is, don't forget that only the first answer is graded. Okay. So if they ask you for 2 ecological consequences, that's what they want, just 2. Okay, so if you put 3 or 4, they're going to stop grading after the second one. Okay, so again, that's just wasted time. Also make sure that you identify, if they're asking you for ecological consequences, You don't want to talk about human activity. You don't want to talk about agriculture or jobs, right? The economy. That's not ecological. We're not part of the natural ecosystem. Now, if they just say consequences, then you can talk about any of it, right? But if they mention ecological, then stick to the ecosystem. If they mention, human consequences, then of course you can stick to the economy or health or any of that. Okay. Remember, for this test, obviously you can use your notes. It's an open notebook. They are well aware that you're going to probably want to go to Google and you're going to want to try to figure out of the answers somewhere. I can tell you right now, it's not. All of these test questions will be analysis, evaluation, where you're applying the knowledge. The answer is not out there. They're not going to rehash some old FRQ. Don't waste the time trying to Google stuff. What I do recommend that you have is some kind of visual setup. Maybe you have the FRQ packets opened up to all those FRQ preps. I don't know, tape them to your wall or something. Maybe you've created some kind of outline for yourself. You want it to make it easy, like an easy visual where you can find, vocabulary words that will kind of just remind you, oh, I can talk about this. Okay? But definitely have things around you. You just never know. I mean, even if you have all the information in your head, I know for me, for example, if I'm being timed, I'm going to get nervous. And so just having that visual is going to be helpful. I don't know, even have the book open, whatever you want to do. Okay. And so, like I said, those FRQ review packets, in terms of the FRQ practice especially. One thing I wanted to mention is don't bother Googling, but also social media. Do not use social media before, during, or after the tests, okay? College Board will be literally looking out for any trace of this. They're very, they've been emphasizing this a lot on our meetings, that if anybody is thought of cheating, they will literally notify all of the universities that you might be applying to, obviously the schools, so you don't want that on your resume. Also, I think they mentioned that if you're not a senior, let's say you're an underclassman and you're caught cheating, it'll still go on your record and you'll probably be banned from other AP exams or SAT. I don't even know. Just don't do it, okay? And I know for a fact that you guys aren't going to bother doing stuff like that. But, sometimes, let's say you have a friend text you, hey, oh my God, can you help me with this? Ignore texting. Actually, tell your friends, do not bother me during this time. Okay, you don't want to go to that. You don't want to be caught or be brought in to any kind of social media stuff. And sometimes we can fall into it, without really even wanting to. So just stay away from it. All right. And so I'm going to speak about the question 1 on the next video. So stay tuned. Oop.